Henrietta, so good to have you on the call. This is the monthly ISWA Africa July 2024 edition of our Afro Eco Business Innovators Conversation. This is a forum where we talk about anything waste management, how we can start to talk about our challenges, prefer solutions to those challenges that are peculiar to our client. There's a general talk around thinking global but acting local. So we have to start talking about all these challenges and how we can take intentional actions, to mitigate these challenges, as it concerns our different clients in Africa. Of course, from major facets and sector of life, transportation, tourism, the banking sector, all sectors of waste management, and even we'll talk through the value chain of the waste management from waste generation to waste pickers to waste recyclers, aggregators, waste transporters, waste disposal, and so on and so forth. So so happy to have you on this call. Henrietta, how are you?
I'm okay. My pleasure to be on the meeting to join.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for the time. So this is a monthly initiative of the International Solid Waste Association African Regional Chapter. So I'll start by asking you, I saw your profile, that you are an environmental engineer driving innovation in solid waste management. So I'm just curious, are you going to speak to this, especially at a time like this where, one of the elements of circular economy is to start rethinking business models that will extend end of life of product. This is a time where producers are compelled to design their products for the future. So as an engineer, as an environmental engineer for that matter, what are the creativity or the innovations around waste management that you have been up to lately?
Okay, thank you very much, John. Thank you for having me on this ISWA monthly meeting or call to discuss innovative solutions or the ways that we can address our solid waste management challenges in the sub-region. So I would say that my work has basically focused on the entire value chain. When you started, you talked about the value chain. So from the generation points through haulage, disposal, reuse, innovations. I do everything. Maybe driving innovations because now I have something that I run called the Upcycling Heroes. And I basically work in the Greater Accra region now. That's where I do most of my solid waste management work, though I do other liquid waste management stuff in the whole country. But for solid waste, I'm really focusing on the Greater Accra region, which is the capital, where the capital city is. And we do have a group of, I'll call them individuals, entrepreneurs, recycling enthusiasts, and we have about 800 of them, and they are in a place called Cable and Wireless. And so they are doing all kinds of innovative things with our waste streams that they pick from the houses and from the transfer stations. And they do make all kinds of products with waste. Particularly, I think for the people in Cable and Wireless, their focus is on plastics. They do a bit of metals also there. So these are the mainstream that they're really working with at Cable and Wireless, and I just have an initiative called the Upcycling Heroes, and I try to give them technical support and also help them address some of their teething challenges, and also connect them to more intermediary buyers. Because as the system is in Greater Accra now, recycling and also segregation at source has not been formalized. So it's really seen as an informal sector-driven activity. And what we are doing with them is that we have mapped and identified all the individuals that are involved in waste picking, and we have their database, and we do connect them with aggregators, recycling factories, intermediary buyers, and things like that. So we are also under the Garrett project, which I also work under, supporting these kinds of initiatives, so that they have, let's say, a ready raw product for all the innovative things that they are doing at the hub. So that's really one of the key things that I'm really supporting now, called the Upcycling Heroes. So that's really dedicated towards all our upcyclers, recyclers, innovators, aggregators. There are so many groups of people or individuals that are in this place, and that's the kind of support that I'm providing to them through Rewaste Africa also as well. And then one of the key things that we are also doing is that for solid waste management in Ghana, we do have engineers in the private sector, but the engineers in the public sector are really limited. And I used to be in the public sector. I used to work in the ministry, the national ministry that's responsible for solid waste management. So I know these things. So through Rewaste Africa also, I'm supporting the few we call them public health engineers, and they are in charge of both liquid waste and solid waste, supporting them to also professionalize and give them the technical support that they are needed to be able to work across the district assemblies that they are assigned to work in, and also to build their capacity, expose them to best practices and emerging technologies, so that they can also best deliver on their mandate within the various district assemblies that they find themselves. So for now, I would say that my work here on innovation is focusing on both the individuals, the entrepreneurs, or the enthusiasts, the activists within the space in Greater Accra region, and also supporting the engineers, the sanitation engineers in the various district assemblies to be able to better develop and implement a sustainable waste management solution.
Fantastic, fantastic. So when you talk about, I like what you are doing with Waste Africa. So when you talk about, let's pick the waste pickers, for instance, trying to formalize them, connecting them to aggregators, recyclers, and so on and so forth. What are the technology that you are using to do this? Is there an app? How do you connect them together?
Well, for now, we've not been able to do the digital parts of it, but our first attempt was to gather the database of all the people involved, their contacts, their addresses, and some basic information on them. So this is the first step that we have done. And we've also supported Greater Accra region. We are working in 17 district assemblies. So in the district assemblies that we are working in, we've supported the assembly to set up a cooperative for these waste pickers. And then also for the cooperative, we also have another one for the informal waste collectors. So they are more like they come to the house and they collect everything. So those are the collectors. But the pickers only extract the valuables, the high density polyethylene, low density polyethylene, the PPs, the PVCs, the metals. So the pickers focus on the recyclable materials, but the collectors do collect everything that is generated at the household. So we've supported the district assembly to give them the necessary support to put them in cooperatives. Currently, out of the 17, we've done 5 cooperatives in 5 district assemblies, and the database is available at the district assembly office. And we've also provided some training on occupational health and safety. We've also even branded them, right? Because what happened in the Greater
I
Accra
like
region
that.
is that we had a landfill called the Pone landfill, and the
Okay.
landfill had about 1,200 waste pickers on the dump site doing active picking. But then the landfill reached its design life, and the government decided to close down the landfill. Of course, once we were closing down the landfill, it means that we were putting 1,200 pickers out of job, because these
Out of
people
job.
depend on the landfill for their
Mm,
livelihood, right? And
mm,
most of them are not even Ghanaians. They come from neighboring countries. They come in groups and they come in here, and the work that they're able to do is the waste picking. So once government decided to decommission the Pong landfill, it meant that we are putting all these people out of job. And even though we are engineers, we also know what the impacts of these things are on our economy, on the environment, and also on the social asset side of things. So it was a good opportunity for us to capture them and empower them to be able to help segregation efforts in the various communities and also institutions, so that once the landfill is being closed, they know that now they do have another job when they move to the generation point. So this is how it evolved, or this is the closure of the Poon landfill actually triggered most of these initiatives that I'm talking about. Hitherto, we were not really focused on. We were just focused on, I mean, we are engineers, right? So we are just looking at the design of the landfill,
fine,
design the
exactly.
transfer station, the hardcore things. We were really not thinking about all these things. But once we decided to close it, the
Okay.
pickers were quite organized, and so they wrote a letter and they petitioned the government. And so we had to really do something to ensure that we don't put out their bread and butter. And then also, not just their bread and butter, they are also solving a problem for us. They are elongating the lifespan of our landfills and our disposal sites. And so we needed to make sure that we capture them, recognize them most importantly, because most of the district assemblies hitherto were referring to them as scavengers and didn't want to work with them. So we needed to desensitize, resensitize our frontline officers to really appreciate the kinds of activities that these people are doing, to the extent that we even organized a training for all the waste management engineers, and we took them to the Poon landfill to actually see the kind of work that they are doing over there. Because not all the engineers work on the landfill site. Some are in the district assembly offices doing the waste management operations, which involves overseeing the collection service. So we needed to take all of them to the landfill site to really understand and appreciate the volumes of waste that these people were taking out of the dump sites and repurposing them or selling them towards other values before they decided to accept and recognize them and start working with them. So even though we have 17, it's still a journey for us. And today we've only been able to integrate waste pickers into 5 districts out of the 17 that our project is working in. And here they have their cooperatives, the assembly has their database, the assembly has even issued them with an ID card with a unique reference number. And we don't have a digital system in place, but the reference number is such that it was an Excel-based activity. So once they put in the reference number, they're able to know that this is John or this is Henrietta, and this is Henrietta's telephone number. To the extent that now they're even beginning to record the weight of the recyclables or the materials that they pick. So this is how we are able to link them with cable and wireless. The cable and wireless is a hub of everything, of intermediaries, of recyclers. So it's like a one-stop location. And once you get there, you do have a market for whatever you are bringing in. The next step for us, of course, is to do this digitization so that the work of the district assembly and the individuals can be a seamless transaction and can also be monitored when we sit at the regional level or at the national level. So that's the kind of the next level that we haven't gotten to yet. But we've done occupational health and training, safety training for them. Most of them were not Ghanaians, and so they didn't even have ID cards. So the district assembly had to arrange with, we have what we call the Ghana Immigration Service that's in charge of giving passports and citizenship, to give them a permit to be able to work on what they are doing. And so this is really the leg which we've been able to do. And the uniforms have also worked magic for us, because now they are branded, they have their reflectors, they are working GS, and everybody knows that they are coming from, or they are working with the district assembly. And so people are more open and comfortable to engage with them.
Henrietta, say no more. You said so much in the
Okay, so
space
you
of...
have tons of questions. Okay.
No. We're almost done. I'm just impressed, because you said you've not digitalized them, but you've taken a bold step, and that is, to dignify what they are doing by formalizing the activities. And before now, we used to stigmatize these waste pickers.
Yeah.
We call them waste pickers, different kind of names, and but what you have did is that you've given them that sense of belonging, that sense of professional responsibility, that they are proud of what they are. First, you've gathered data which will help in your research, in informed decision, going forward. Of course, you've given them ID cards. You are training them.
We are branding them.
And you are branding them. No, fantastic. For once, people will be like, "Oh, this is. I'm proud of what I'm doing," and of course, this will open up this space to other people to join. You have made waste picking attractive, and these people, the waste pickers, are the heroes of recycling.
Yeah.
They are the major, in fact, the most important in this value chain. And fantastic. You've done fantastically well, and
Thank you.
I'm so impressed. So, of course,
Can
over
I
time,
just say something? Because when you were just talking, I realized I didn't say something. About the waste pickers being the hub or the heartbeat of recycling. Currently,
yes,
in the Greater Accra region, for instance, of all the waste that we collect, when we did our analysis, we have 23.5% that are recyclables, right? But because we are not doing a good segregation at source system, there's some level of dirtiness or pollution to some of the recyclables. So after we've done the sorting and everything, we are having 18.6% of the waste recyclables. And out of this 18.6%, the pickers are doing 17.8%. And we do have a transfer station that has a material recovery facility, which is very expensive, and they're not even doing up to 0.5%. But these individual pickers and collectors, are contributing 17.8% to this total 18.6% of recycling. And they just leave the 0.8% to the various private companies that are involved in so-called recycling and composting and material recovery and all those things. So yes, they are playing a huge role in terms of removing materials of value. So I just wanted to give you the statistics for the Greater Accra region because you mentioned it, to give you a better picture of the kind of contribution that these individuals or this group of people are giving to waste management in the Greater Accra region. We are not looking to formalize them totally. We are just we want to keep them semi-formalized, okay? Because once we formalize them totally, I think we will lose the benefits of their ingenuity and the dynamic work that they are doing. So we are ensuring and we are mindful of the levels of layers of bureaucracy or administrative things that we give to them. Exactly. And that's also one of the reasons why we have not digitized them yet. Because sometimes when we do that, they feel like, okay, now they know us, they are going to tax us and all those kinds of things. So we are taking it step by step to build the trust and convenience and acceptance first before we bring in these things that would tie them, because they don't like to be tied down with administrative stuff. So that's also something to say. Yeah, once you do that, they begin to fall out. And we want to keep them as comfortable as they are, with minimal levels of administration, and so that they're able to operate at their maximum capacity. Yeah.
Wow. So they are semi-formalized.
Exactly, they are semi-formalized.
Wow. That's this is another angle to it. I've never seen it. I'm not looking at it in that angle at all. That they become so relaxed and they don't want to avoid the bureaucracy of you want to
systems. Yeah.
Way for the systems and everything. That's very cool. You're doing a very good one. Okay, finally, for brevity of time, I would say I hope we'll have you on this call again. This is restricted to 30 minutes or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So, but yes, my final take would be, or question would be, about ISWA 2024 Congress. So how prepared are you guys in Ghana? I've seen it all around the advertorial, and we've had a lot of breakfasts in different regions. Yes, just to garner momentum for this program, active participation, improve the delegation to South Africa. So tell me about the Congress and how prepared are you and the young people around you that you know? Are you telling people about the Congress?
You see, you are getting me all smiling once you started talking about the ISWA Congress. You see, you can now see all my 32 teeth now. So we are really excited that it's coming down closer to us.
Yeah.
I can't recall if I've ever had an ISWA conference or Congress happening in any of the African countries before. This is my first time. Okay, so it hasn't happened before, right?
First of its kind on African.
Yeah, because I mean, from our side, we know ISWA. Some of us are members of ISWA. And we've been wanting to be part of this Congress, but I think last 3 years or so, ISWA was in Singapore, or last 2 years, I'm not too sure. There was a Singapore edition, and then last year when we wanted to go, it was happening in Oman, right? And there's no Oman consulate or visa embassy in Ghana, so though we really wanted to, if we wanted to go to Oman, I think we had to go to Egypt or somewhere like that to get a visa and the stress that was involved. So we are really excited that it's coming to South Africa. And for us in Ghana, we really don't need a visa to be in South Africa. So
Yes.
that's also a plus for us. And that makes our it's a seamless kind of thing. And so we are hoping that we'll be able to represent as much as possible. Of course, there are some
Okay.
financial constraints that we also face, but we are really doing our best to be able to bring a
Correct.
delegation. I also do work a lot with the Ministry of Sanitation on the Garrett project. That's one project that I'm handling now. And so
Yeah.
we've also done a justification and submitted a framework for support from the ministry. And the ministry is also looking to other some of their partners, development partners, and private sector actors to support, especially the young professional group, to be able to attend the ISWA Congress in Cape Town. So we are hopeful and we are excited about it.
All
We
right.
actually really wanted to submit some papers, but I think we missed
The,
some
ab-
of the timelines, so
the
we were
abstract.
not able to
Oh,
put in a submission because the
about that.
Garrett project is also doing a lot of things. This innovation is just one small aspect of what we are doing on Garrett. We are doing transfer stations, we are designing landfills and other things. So we really wanted to put in, and we are doing a lot on the entire solid waste management value chain, even with collection. So wanted to put
Mm.
in some papers, but we missed the deadline, so we couldn't. So we are hopeful
Mm.
that we can be part and be in Cape Town to
That's
receive um, other people from the continent and also to be able to share, learn about emerging technologies and the best practices, and really carry home um, insightful things to help us develop and implement the work that we do even better. So we look forward to see you in Cape Town, God willing.
Thank you, Constable
And we
Lady.
should
Thank
book
you.
one of the tours, I think. We're
Okay.
going to get
Okay.
one of the tours with Scope and then maybe ISWA Nigeria as well. And also to say that I have an NGO that I'm a co-founder to. And so we are also helping to put the message out to push our engineers to be part of a professional network. Hitherto, for us, most of us are members of the engineering association. We have the Ghana Institution of Engineering, and that's all that we've known. And then sometimes, so now we are really pushing out the message of ISWA to we call them public health engineers or sanitation engineers, to know that there's an international body called ISWA, and as a solid waste practitioner, you would necessarily need to subscribe and be a member to benefit from all that there is to be benefited in the professional network. So we also, through Real Waste Africa, championing and advocating for our professionals to subscribe to ISWA, YPG, and then ISWA itself, because some of them are also above 35 years. So this is one of
Great.
the things that we are doing with Real Waste Africa. Real Waste is spelled RE and then Waste. So Real
Wait.
Waste Africa.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
I've seen
an
that.
NGO. Yeah, it's an NGO, and then we are using that to mobilize and advocate for professionalization in the solid waste sector, especially joining the ISWA groups and the various task forces or subgroups that are under the ISWA.
I think I saw you. I got to know you through West Africa on
Yes,
LinkedIn. That's
yes,
where I got. Thank you so very much. This has been an interesting session, and
it
I want.
has.
I
Is the
wish we
30
can go on
minutes
and do.
already up?
It's up already.
Okay,
Thank you so very
time
much.
does fly.
I think we'll do
Okay,
this again.
thank you.
I'm going to call you again, probably after the conference in September, and we'll talk about a whole lot, especially that touches
And we should
around.
also meet in Cape Town. I would need to find you in Cape Town.
Most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. Thank
Yeah,
you so very much. And of course we'll still talk around as an engineer, the redesigning of the landfills,
yeah,
rethinking rethinking the design of the landfills. You mentioned that, and that really caught my interest. Well, we are going to elaborate on that and much more later. And I also want to tell you, we have the regional chapter. I hope your members can register. Over time, we'll have a partnership with West Africa, and we'll see
yeah.
how we can explore um, collaborative strategy opportunities to do so many things together, mutual beneficial, over
Sure,
time.
sure. I
Thank
think
you.
my co-founder is actually she joins the regional chapter meetings, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What's
Um,
her name? Think I
Zipporah Siedwe.
yeah. That's correct.
Yes,
That's correct.
yes.
Correct. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Whilst I
Really
do the
appreciate.
legwork in Ghana.
Oh, great. What
Yes.
do I? Akuba Ghana. How do you say that?
Akwaba.
Aquaba.
Yeah.
Aquaba Ghana.
That's welcome. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, John. You're
Yeah.
welcome. And
My-
thank you for the work that you are doing
oh, thank you so very
to
much.
push
Thank you for
solid
putting our work.
waste management out there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll bring my co-host there. Sage, are you there? You want to say one or two things?
Yes, John, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, in 2 minutes.
It's okay. I had the question to Henrietta. I don't know if the time will allow.
Okay.
First of all, thank
You
you
can go
very
ahead.
much. Yeah, thank you very much. It's so inspiring what you are doing in Ghana. So my question was on maybe do you have a program of exchange of knowledge with other countries, maybe for people who are outside Ghana and would like to learn from you? Do you have such program with your hub?
I'm not too sure about that yet, but I could find out for you. We do work, I currently work with the Ministry of Sanitation, because Garrett it's actually for one of the participating ministries is the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, and they are in charge of solid waste management. So I don't think it's out of touch for these tours, but I would run it by them and see. And then I think it should be possible, and also the district assemblies that we work with. Yeah, I think it's not impossible. It's a government to government arrangement, or I mean, it's a South-South cooperation to be able to exchange our ideas. So if this is
Okay.
an area of interest, I can run it with senior management of the ministry, and then I'll let you know, and then the projects as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a
So
World Bank funded project, so I would run it with the project coordinator, who is my boss, and then the management of the ministry. And I think it should be possible. We would be happy to receive our colleague waste management professionals
thank you very much.
to
Thank you
enjoy
very much.
Ghana Jollof.
It's okay. Thank you.
You didn't hear the
So
last aspect. To enjoy Ghana Jollof.
sorry?
There's this competition. There's this it's an argument around Nigerian jollof and Ghana jollof. So I don't know
Yes,
I don't. Let's not start
yes.
this. Let's not start this. Someday I'll travel down myself and Serge, and we'll come
Yeah,
and taste Ghana jollof. I hope you are welcome.
you're going to love it.
Oh, great.
You will change your nationality once you
I'll,
finish the jollof.
thank you so very much.
Okay, great.
So thank you very much. As we come at the end of this Afro Eco Business Innovation conversation, all participants and of course organizers, John, Pendulo, and everyone who made this event a success and possible. So your engagement and passion have significantly enhanced our dialogue and motivated us to persist in our commitments to advance the sustainable business practices across Africa. So thank you very much for being an integral part of this inspiring journey. As we look ahead, we are excited to continue this journey together, working towards a more sustainable future for all. So we encourage you to stay connected and engage with us and with our community. Lastly, we have talked about it, the ISWA conference. So I invite all of us to join us in the ISWA World Congress 2024 in South Africa, an important event for waste management professionals and experts, and where we invite all of you. So the ISWA Congress will take place in Cape Town from September 15 to 18. And this event marked the first time, as Henrietta said, the Congress will be held in Africa. Yes, and it's organized by ISWA in collaboration with the Institute of Waste Management of Sweden, Africa. The theme of this year is Waste to Wealth, Solution for a Sustainable Future. So thank you very much, and we encourage all the members of the Afro Eco Business Innovation Conversation to actively participate. So thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
The feeling is mutual. Thank you for your time. We don't take it for granted.
You're welcome.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, my co-host. Thank you. Our engineers at the back end. We appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Sure. See you in Cape Town, God willing.
God willing.
Bye.
Bye.